Hey guys, what's going on? It's on back with a brand new video, and today I have another draft league draft breakdown. I think this is either, depending on when you see this, is either going to be my second or third one in the last month. Which I mean, that isn't insane compared to like I've had draft leagues where I've had drafts like 3 different drafts going on at the same time, but it's still pretty crazy. I'm really excited about this draft league because I think this team definitely has potential, and I definitely do think this draft league isn't one that's going to fold in on itself because I've only finished probably you can count on 1 or 2 hands the amount of times I've actually finished the draft league. I'd say it's probably 5. Like it is very very low. I will say that, but um, yeah, I'm really excited about this league. This is, I believe, nap decks, anything goes. Cut moves are allowed, so for shooting is allowed, which could be big for a lot of moms. And hand powers are back, all that fun stuff. So, a single beam for bug coverage, I guess. But yeah, I'm really excited about this team because it just, I think it has a lot of potential. I think it could do something, and especially with my lower tier picks, I think all of them have potential in their own way. So let's start off with my first pick, and that was my mega pick. I'm gonna pretty much go mega and then tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. So my mega, I had a third pick, and well, let me just say, I've had some pretty terrible draft luck where I've gotten the middle picks, or where I need the first round pick, like a high first round pick, I get like the 14th pick or the 15th pick. This time I got the 5th, and that meant I could actually pick something I've wanted to use for a while. I actually used this mod in one of my first draft leagues as a host, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I've always wanted to come back to it, but I never really got my chance. And now I do because not only is it more buffed than the last time I used it, and it's still allowed, um, but it's just a really damn good mod, and I have a lot of fun using it. It fits my playstyle perfectly. And that's going to be Mega Low Putty. So if you don't know, Mega Low Putty got completely buffed. It got insanely buffed, in my opinion. Scrappy is a huge ability. What Scrappy used to do was it used to normal fighting hit moves would be neutral against Ghost. You could hit Ghost Eggs. And that's insane. That's pretty insane. But Scrappy got buffs, so now it ignores Intimidate too. Um, so that's a buff, especially with its 136 base attack. Um, Not only did this mod get buffed with Scrappy, it also got pivot options with U-turn. It got triple axle, so that's ice coverage. It already had ice buff, but 120 base power moves definitely something you can't scoff at. This mod also got close combat. And yeah, I think that's it. But just getting U-turn and the Scrappy buff and possibly triple axle is already huge enough. So literally, this mod got so much better, and yeah, especially on this team, I think it fit very well. If you're new to this channel, then you probably don't know my history with Cortana, and I love Cortana. It's one of my favorite mods in Draft League because it's just so much fun to use. Because it can just squeak. It just comes in and squeaks, and it's great. It's really good. And I think Low Honey is that, but maybe even better. It has higher speed, higher attack, better bulk all around. Okay, that's a lie. No, not really, no. I think it does have better bulk. Um, Pretty good stat distribution, good ability. This one is just very solid. I think it is a no-brainer pick for a top 2 pick. And I'm pretty shocked I got it. So, yeah, let's move on to my tier 1 pick, which is actually my last pick. This is my last pick in the draft. Or second to last pick in the draft. And I'm a little shocked it fell because I definitely wasn't expecting this mod to fall to me. I was going to go with the other form, which has higher stats and higher defense, which probably would have been worse for this team. But I was willing to sacrifice that to just get a mon of its caliber, and luckily I got its better form, its more offensive form, and that's going to be Latios. So Latios was originally planned for this team. A lot of things were usually planned for this team, but I decided last minute to change to Latios because Latios, just that offensive special attack is going to be huge for this team. I noticed this team doesn't really have any notable special attackers besides from, if I went with Latios, it would have been Latios. My notable special attackers all had like around the 100 base mark, I guess, benchmark of what makes a good special attacker a good special attacker. I want a great special attacker. Something that can complement low punny. And when I originally drafted low punny, mega low punny, in one of my earlier leagues, like I said before, I paired it up with Latios. So I decided, hey, let's just stray from this a little bit. I don't really need to repeat teams. And I want to try out some Pokemon I've never used. And yes, I've never used Latios before. Yeah, just this is going to be a lot of fun. I think everyone knows what Latios can do. It has huge special attack with really good speed. I believe got access to Dragon Dance. Really good on both sides, so it can go mixed. But usually you'll see this thing on the special side, gets recovery, gets stored power, tailwind, toxic thunder wave, good support mon overall. It has charge beam, which could be a lot of fun. Bulldoze, which could be fun. What else? What else? Dream Eater could be a cool set. Fury Cutter. Hidden Powers, Icy Wind. Saya. Wave could be a lot of fun. Just you have a lot. Whirlpool. Whirlpool could be cool. I don't know if it's not Paris wrong. No, it doesn't. But still, Whirlpool for trapping tanks in could be a lot of cool. Could be a lot of cool. Could be very cool. So my next pick is, I believe, one of my first picks. I'm actually changing it up because I had two tier 2s, but I think my tier 2s are kind of tier 3s, but I'll tell you them. So my first tier 2, I say it in quotes, is Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen I've used this mon with Gartana, and I decided to bring it back for the Mega Lopunny to see if they sort of share that same dynamic that the two had. But Nidoqueen, what Nidoqueen does really well is its Sheer Force sets with possible ABs or Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks, gets Earth Power. As you see, just a lot of moves that can take advantage of Sheer Force. Fire coverage, fighting coverage, ice coverage, obviously poison ground coverage, ghost coverage. On the physical side, you have rock coverage, dark coverage, water, electric. You have so much coverage with this mon. You have a lot of good support moves, like taunt, like toxic spikes, like stealth rocks. For some reason, this mon does not get spikes, but I don't really think it needs it. You just have a lot of really good moves with this mon, and its main attractor is obviously Sheer Force, with Life Orb, and doing insane damage to everything. What? This one actually did not know that. Okay. Yeah, that's Nidoqueen. Just very solid mon. It does its job, and it does it pretty well. Now, do I think this mon should be tier 2? No, this is definitely a tier 3 mon at best. It doesn't. Hugo, I think it's better than this mon because it has a better ability, has better stat distribution. Because let's face it, this is not good stat distribution. 92 and 75, respectively, are pretty bad. Like these shouldn't be as equal. There should be a lot more defensive investment. This is a lot more of a defensive mon. Less speed investment. Just overall, it's kind of a mixed bag, and I think that's a downside. So I think this should have been a tier 3, but I digress. I picked it. So, yeah. Let's go with my next mon. So my next mon is a mon I've always wanted to use in the Draft League because it's probably one of my favorite mons I've used in competitive because it's probably the mon that I've seen do its job and do it consistently well that I don't understand how it, well, of course I understand how it didn't say Nate OU, but I feel like it should have. I don't understand how this mon is falling so quickly, but that's going to be Corsola Galarian Corsola. This thing is insane in draft because usually you'll see this thing running first body, Evulite, with Rocks, Lewis, Haze if you want, what is the grass thing? We have Strength Sap, I said Will-O-Wisp, I said Stealth Rock, Nightshade, Haze, all that fun stuff. But this mon can also run a weak armor Destiny Bond set, which could be really cool. This mon has a lot of coverage, so offensively, it might be able to do a damage if it shocks someone. Has really good defenses, even without an Evulite. I mean, this is just 6100. That's pretty much Rotom stats. Just a little bit under, of course, but still, it's like Rotom in a way, which is pretty cool. This is one of my favorite tanks, up there with 40M2. It's just a really, really good mon, really good design, really consistent mon. It's a tank, and as you see with these two picks, I kind of went in the tank route with tier 2, which usually I do go a little offensive, and the Queen kind of gets offensive. But these are two considered tanks. Like, you would consider these two tanks. So let's move on to tier 3, because tier 3, we are going to be continuing that tank route with my first first tier 3 pick, and that's going to be Araquanid. So I've used this mon a couple of times, and it's very consistent. It has multiple sets. Of course, it has its usual sticky web set with possible sash, possible heavy-duty boots, possible leftovers, whatever. Suicide lead, water hook is going to be really nice for things like Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Kingdra, and just a bunch of water types that are running rampant, like Mega Swampert. Like this literally walls Mega Swampert. So yeah, I mean I'm very excited to be able to use this mon. Has very good defensive stats. It doesn't really need to even run special defensive EVs if you don't even like this can run max 252 every time. Like it could just do that every time, and it's just a very good mon. This mon also has one of my favorite abilities, which is Water Bubble, paired with Mystic Water or Choice Band, and just clicking Liquidations and Bleach Life and all these different moves. Not the best physical special stats, but still, I think they're still serviceable. You can still do something with them. But yeah, I mean, this is a very standard mon. What it does, usually it just gets a sticky web, some magic hook, back, some rocks, some spikes, possibly. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's very standard, very good tank. Can go offensive. Adds a lot. Gives webs for these three right now, and it gives webs for this next mon, which is going to be Copperajah. I've never used Copperajah. Let me just say this. It's tier 3. My next 2 picks after this are also tier 3. I've never used Copperajah in competitive. I've never used Copperajah in Sword and Shield. I'm very new to this mon, and I know what it can do though. Sheer Force is definitely a really good ability, paired with a lot of the moves it got. For example, what did it get? It got Body Slam to take advantage of it. Iron Head, Play Rough, Rock Slide, pretty Zen Headbutt. So like it definitely does have moves that can take advantage of it. But you also have Heavy Metal. And Heavy Metal, what it does is doubles your weight. So things like Heat Crash are going to be hitting super hard. Heavy Slam is going to be sitting. It's going to be hitting super hard. I don't know if it got any more, but I know those two are definitely preferred. It has Stealth Rocks, it has Whirlwind, what? Has Taunt, Power Whip, it has pretty solid coverage against first two, so that can be ran. Assault Vest is also possible to run. What is, I don't know what's going down. But yeah, just a very, very solid mono. This is my skill type, and if you're looking at cores, I've started pretty much every core, and I'm almost done with most cores. I've started Fairy Dragon Steel core. I've started Waterfire Grass core. I got my Ghost type. Started Ground Poison Electric core. I started a Psychic Fighting Dark core. I pretty much started every core. And that's only 6%. Like, I think everyone here contributes to a core, which is pretty insane. Yeah, Paparazzi though, very good offensively. It definitely can be ran as a defensive wall, though I don't know if I'd run it often as a defensive wall. Maybe running 252, 252, or 252 in here, and then Assault Vested. That could be a set, but I don't know. Usually, this is a more offensive one. Let's move on with my next pick, and that's going to be another tier 3. I've used this one before a couple times. It's probably one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. And that's going to be Darmanitan. Unfortunately, not the Glamanitan version, because that's not tier 3, and I think it might be banned. But Darmanitan is really good at what it does. It can run Life Orb, it can run Bandage, Scarf, any set, paired with Webs is going to be really good. Same for Araquanid and Paparaja, too. Those two, whatever. Dynamic. But yeah, Darmanitan has a lot of moves that take advantage of Sheer Force, and also Zen Mode, which I don't know, I'm like freaking out one to something. I don't know. It got Expanded Force. It is Flare Blitz, which takes huge advantage of Sheer Force. It does so much damage with Life Orb and everything. This mon can break screens. It has Earthquake, Body Slam, pretty good coverage so far. Iron Head, Lash Out, Bark, fighting coverage, rock coverage, U-turn for momentum. Trick could be a very, very underrated set. If I trick like a scarf, that could be really cool. Yawn is a little underrated. Littlest is underrated. Yeah, I mean, this mon can really excel at tricking something onto, let's say, I don't know, like an average tank. Like, let's say this thing gets in on a Celebi, and instead of killing it, it cripples it. Or something like an Espionage. Like, right, like it could cripple that. It can cripple Vaporeon on switching. It can just cripple tanks. Like, with Trick. That's going to be insane. Belly Drum, which could obviously be ran with, I believe, Salad Berries. Yeah. So, this one is incredible at what it does. 148 base attack with 0 IVs. I don't know why. 95 speed is pretty good for a web team. And I can take advantage of it. I've used them on before, like I said, so I do have experience with it. I kind of know what will work, what won't work with this one, I guess. I'm excited to use it this season. My next one is going to be another tier 3, my last tier 3. I don't recall using this one ever, maybe once exactly, maybe for a little bit, but I originally had Decidueye instead of Glaring Corsola and Shaman, but I really wanted to try out some mons that I've wanted to try out, or some mons that I really liked, and Shaman, I'll just reveal it. Oh wait, this is AG. So what else did this mon get then? This one had to get something. We got HP's back, I guess. It doesn't get the Shaman. Okay, it didn't really get anything. But Shaman is going to be insane for Draft League on a web team. This mon is a really good defensive mon. Gets Leech Seed and Natural Cure, which are both really good. Gets Aromatherapy, so it's really good at doing that. Healing Wish could be cool as a Scarper. Leech Seed, Leaf Storm. But the huge thing it has is, where is it? Seed Flare. Oh boy, 40% chance to lower the target's SFEDL by 2 is insane. That's going to be huge, especially for setting things up like Latios and possibly Nidoqueen. And if I want to go Zen mode Darn, I could set up that. Just really cool. It also gets Sword Dance. That's a thing. I think it gets Home. No, it doesn't. It gets Fairy coverage. It gets a pretty good amount of coverage with all HPs. Psychic, Grass, Flying, yeah, Flying, Fairy Ground, Hidden Power, Psychic coverage. So pretty good. Obviously, this thing has Sky Form. That'd be really cool if I could use that instead, because it's insane and broken. But I will settle for regular Shaman. As you can see, it's a Pixie, and if you don't know what a Pixie is, it pretty much, the Pixie is just 100 base stat. Legendary, like Mew, like Jirachi, like Celebi. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Shaman. It has two really notable sets in the offensive and defensive. Yeah, that's my last tier 3, and let's move on to my first tier 4, which arguably should be in tier 3. And that's going to be my fairy of the team, and that's going to be Comfy. So, if you, I don't know when this is going up, but in my Wi-Fi league, spoiler alert, I am running Comfy in that league, and that mon is, it's going to be really good. In both leagues that were tier 4, I don't understand how. This is, in my opinion, tier 3 mon, because Triad's a pretty good ability, and Natural Cure with U-Turn. Scarf Sets can work, Calm Mind works, gets Aromatherapy, U-Turn, Petal Blizzard on a physical Comfy if you want to run that. Has decent special attacks after Calm Mind, you're looking pretty good. Gets a Deep Fog, Draining Kiss, Giga Drain, Synthesis, Priority Synthesis. It gets Leech Seed for health, I don't know if that actually moved first. Pain Split could be cool. Play rough on the physical side. Stored power. Yeah, I mean, Trick and Triple, Taunt, Tailwind, Synthesis, like I said. Substitute Sets. Toxic. Just Trick Room. Like, this one gives me Trick Room somehow with Paparaja, Corsola, Araquanid, and Nidoqueen. I'm just gonna be going Trick Room. Sure. But yeah, Comfy is just really good Pokemon, very good fairy, and I think it's very underrated. My next mon is going to be a Dark type. Again, this should be in tier 3, so like I'm kind of making up for the tier 2s. This should be a tier 3 mon, and that's going to be Umbreon. Umbreon is somehow tier 4. I don't know how, but I will definitely pick it up. I believe this was my 3rd pick or something, because all of my mom's work was really sought after I just went for my lower tier mons that I thought could be sniped pretty easily, and Umbreon is definitely one of them. How is this thing in tier 4 with these stats? This is amazing stat distribution, 95, 110, 130 volt is very good. With leftovers, that's even better. Synchronize is a really good ability. I mean, Inner Focus could be used for Togekiss if you want. Like I said, Leftovers is really good. If you want to go Boots, that could be really nice. But this one gets Baton Pass, which I'm pretty sure. Let me just bring up the rules for Baton Pass. I'm pretty sure it's you can pass stats, but you can't pass speed with them. and it has to be separate so you can pass bulk up and not dividends. Makes sense. Pretty standard rules. So baton passing things like curse is out of the question, which is unfortunate because that could be cool for passing it to a trick room, a Raquinade or something. This mon usually runs like a Nightshade. I don't know. This mon usually runs like something like Foul Play, Heal Bell, Toxic, Moonlight / Rest, or Wish, or Yawn. What can this mon pass? This mon has to be able to pass something. You can't just have this on pass and have nothing to pass besides two first. Is it not going to look up? Yeah, it's not going to look up. So it can pass workup, I guess. That is cool. Wonderful. Anyways, Umbreon also gets Psych Up, so it can pass that. Just a very bulky tank, and I don't really get how this was a tier 4. This is a tier 3, by far. It has pretty good moves, pretty good coverage, just good mon, at tier 4. So my last pick is going to be a tier 5, and I don't know if I consider this a tier 4, but I definitely don't think this is. I think this is probably one of, if not the best tier 5, especially with Heavy Boots coming back. And that's going to be Rotom Frost, which you might think is a really, really weird pick to just pick up Rotom Frost out of kind of the blue. But this one is really, really, really underrated. First off, it gets bug coverage with Signal Beam back, and it gets Hidden Powers back. That is a huge boost for it, even if it has pretty shit typing, pretty shit move coverage. Otherwise, with of course its Ice type being Blizzard and not something like Ice Beam, and only having 70 accuracy. But that sets up Blunder Policy. This mon gets Seafog, Toxic, Pink Split, Trick, Voltage, and Will-O-Wisp, even though it's an Ice type. Thunder Wave, Stored Power, Thunderbolt. It has literally everything that other Rotoms have, except it has Blizzard and an Ice typing instead. Ice typing does mean has a lot more weaknesses, but this mon is a lot more offensive, and it's a huge special attack with pretty good speed. And like I said, don't understand how this mon is kind of tier 5. I think it should be tier 4, because Heavy Duty is just really good for this mon. 86 speed with webs is going to allow you to outspeed a lot of things you really outsped before. It brings Scarf Mons down a peg, so that's definitely really good for it. Because usually you scarf things that are near the 80s and 70s, like usually scarf fish. Some things in the 90s get scarfed. So yeah, this mon is going to benefit a lot from webs. And yeah, Ice is a very offensive typing. Something like Blizzard would be really cool. For it, unfortunately it's 70% accurate, but what are you gonna do? I don't know if there's any accuracy raising items to help Blizzard's accuracy to get it higher, because 70 is not gonna work for me. I don't know if it will even bring it off. I might just run HP Ice instead, because it gets stabbed, turning into kind of a 90 boost power Ice type move. And yeah, that's gonna be my team. Here, I'll bring it out to this view. I'm very excited for the season. This is one of my favorite. Well, I can't say it's one of my favorite teams, but I like this team a lot. It looks really good. It looks a lot like my Kartana team. Kartana, or Megalophony instead of Kartana, Hydreigon instead of Latios, Nidoqueen, Araquanid instead of Galvantula, what else? Darmanitan, or Incineroar instead of Darmanitan. Just very, very similar teams. And I liked using that team a lot. Even though I didn't even make playoffs with the team, it was a lot of fun at the beginning of the season. And yeah, I'm really excited to bring this team. I have no idea who I'm versing week 1. Draft isn't even technically over, I'm pretty sure. Teams still have to make transactions because of skip picks and stuff. But I'm very excited for the season. I think I can make a splash in this team with the Boston Rotoms, which is a lot of fun making that logo. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time where something will happen. Peace out, boys.